Today's video was sponsored by Roy Jenkins, a true patriot and a Kenyan nationalist at heart. Stand by for debrief in 3, 2, 1. I've noticed a new trend that started right after Ruto took power in 2022, and that trend entails members of parliament receiving more money than county governments. In fact, if you do some groundwork, you'll come to realize that MPs are building more roads and classrooms than governors. A strange phenomenon if you ask me, considering one is in charge of a county and the other is in charge of a teeny tiny constituency. And yesterday we saw a prime example of this imbalance. So just to put things into perspective, Oscar Sudi donated goods worth 45 million Kenya shillings in Kasarate constituency. Part of the merchandise entails things like 100 motorbikes, 2 minivans, and so on and so forth. Here's the merchandise. And if you were to ask Sudi, he'll tell you that 4 of his friends came together and raised the money. Of course, that's total hogwash, but hey, here's a tip.
Sisi tukiwa watu wanne, sitaki kuambia pesa walinipatia, lakini ni marafiki wa ukweli. Mimi na wao tumeweza kununua hii bidhaa ya milioni 45. 45,000. Na niwaambie na msikie vizuri, kwa sababu nimeona kwa mtandao kuna watu wanaongea matope. Hakuna hata shilingi moja ya serikali iko hapa, hata ndururu. Hii ni urafiki. Ile mimi naambianga nyinyi, mimi ni mkarabati, engineer ya mawaya, mnaelewa? Tunaunganisha mawaya mpaka moto inawaka. Moto imewaka haijawaka. So mnanionanga nikitembea kule kwingine.
With the obvious numerical blooper aside, this guy thinks Kenyans are fools. If 4 of your friends came together to raise the money, explain to me why the CS of Treasury John Mbadi was present for this function. Did Mbadi not have anything better to do other than bandwagoning with Oscar Sudi in Kasarate? I don't think so. His presence there is a direct confirmation that these 45 million, either in part or in whole, came from Treasury through a new backdoor called empowerment. And in this video, I want us to look into what these empowerment programs mean for Kenyans moving forward. And with no further ado, let's get after it. Number 1, this empowerment program unilaterally means that the national government has given up on infrastructure and other key development projects. So much so that rather than building critical superhighways like the Nairobi-Nakuru highway, which by the way the president has promised twice now but has done nothing, or even extending the SGR to Malava, these guys have found a cheaper way out that they can use to woo Kenyans, and that's empowerment programs. Kupeana bodaboda, tanki ya maji na mashini ya kushona. You know, this is the direct equivalent of the head of a home who is charged with the task to pay the rent, pay the water bill, the electric bill, and put food on the table. But because they cannot do that, they bamboozle the kids. Not the mother, she's an adult, she knows what's happening. They bamboozle the kids with sweets here and there. That is exactly what this empowerment looks like. Which is of greater consequence? Giving 100 people 100 motorcycles, or doing a road that will serve millions of people who will traverse that region for the next 20 to 25 years to come? It's sad, but that's the reality of things on the ground. Number 2, much as Mbadi was present for Sudi's big day to secure his re-election, because that's pretty much what it was, even Mbadi was disgusted by Sudi's reckless talk. Just have a look at Mbadi's face in this video. Roll the tape.
Pelekea watu wengine. Mimi nimefanya kazi kwa miaka mingi. Wewe ulishinda ukao serikali, ulishinda utafuta marafiki. Hiyo mraka unaongea hapo penye unaongea sijui, wewe umepea nini hao watu? Kazi yako kila siku ni kuamuka na kuhara kwa mdomo yako. Unahara kwa mdomo yako. Hakuna siku unapanga mambo ya maendeleo. Ulikuwa kwa uongozi kwa mwaka 2. Utuoneshe toilet tulijenga huko Mount Kenya. Utuongeze kazi ulifanya. Sasa naona sasa anaongea maneno mengi ati hivi yote William Ruto ametuma. Kwani William Ruto ako na makende, sisi hatuna makende? Waambie nikijia wache ujinga na wache ushenzi. Sisi tutafanya kazi, tutafanyia wananchi yetu kazi, tutatembea hiyo Mount Kenya, hatuwezi tukatembea bure vile unatembea bure ukiongea matope.
You know, it really baffles me how in one sentence Sudi can speak trash and at the same time accuse someone else of kuongea matope. The lad just talked about defecating in the mouth but still wants to lecture others about foul language. What a joke. Even Mbadi's face just showed that he wasn't having it. It was really sad that Sudi resolved to using such language towards the former deputy president of this republic. This is not just any other person. Someone who's a heartbeat from the presidency, you don't use that kind of language. But anywho, let's see how Kenyans on X reacted to Sudi's generosity. And I quote, Washira Bundi said, "Seems elections are nearing and it's time to fool Mwananchi again." Norbit said, "This is monies he has acquired Pale Port of Mombasa. This man is nothing more than an embodiment of corrupt practices." Martin Muriu said, "This is the perfect example of everything wrong in Kenya. This is not the work of elected leaders. Real economic empowerment is for this MP and others to pass laws that improve the economy and check wastage and graft in government. How come only government MPs can afford this?" Mutha said, "In as much as we compare empowerment programs in Mount Kenya and the Rift Valley, let us also question the source of these resources. Tukiendelea hivi, naona kilio hapo mbele. There is no doubt hii ni mali ya umma." Ireland Mburu said, "Sudi is an imbecile through and through. Him na jambazi wanabeba watu wao ufala. Defunding education to donate goods worth 45 million with money from where? This is the 1.3 trillion that disappeared from treasury. A class 2 dropout thinks he's clever than Kenyans. Hit these MFs. Ngoma ishi." Watu wa mliwa mtatuambia ngoma ishi ni nini? Sounds like an insult. KMC Kim said, "You can run from it, hide from it, but then stealing big and giving a bit back to fool the stupid will always win in Kenya." I agree. But what say you guys? Do drop me your comments in the comment section below and I'll do my best to read them and to give you a response. And in the event you're here for the first time, please go on and hit the subscribe button. And if you're watching for a different platform, just head on over to YouTube, search for David Wafula, hit the subscribe button. You're going to be getting a ton of content of this nature. If politics is something you're passionate about, this is definitely the one channel that you really need to subscribe to. Alright guys, adios. Thank you for choosing David Wafula as your primary news platform. We put countless hours in research, recording, and editing. By showing up each and every day to watch our videos, you encourage us to generate more videos for the viewers. We are on a mission to inform, educate, and build a better tomorrow. To our thousands of followers in a world full of presidents, kings, and queens, you are the real gem. Adios.